Hello viewers and welcome to another match of Warhammer 40,000 Conquest. My name is Mitch and I am the Hive Tyrant. Today, I present the first normal Octagon game that I've had the opportunity to film in quite a while. At the bottom of your screen, we see Eric Keilback, aka Whiteblade111, who just took a mulligan. He's going to be playing as our latest Ork faction Warlord Gorzod. And at the top of the screen, we see none other than War Master Sam Mann himself, playing as Eldorath Starbane, and he's going to be playing a rather vehicle-heavy version of Eldorath. His deck actually centers around a card that he just tossed out into play. It's going to be the 2-cost support Bone Singer Choir. So this is a limited card. It's not a location. It's not quite as susceptible as an upgrade to support destruction as our locations. And the most important thing about this is when you deploy an Eldar vehicle or drone, you can exhaust it to reduce the cost by 2 to a minimum of 1. So this Iandon Wraithguard, for instance, was put out into play at planet number 1. It's a 4/2 Armorbane unit, and it cost just 1 resource. But Gorzod, his premise is all about discounted AM and Space Marine faction units. He himself is a 2/7. He's thrown this Assault Valkyrie out to planet number 1, and for the cost of 3, it's a 4/4 flying keyword unit. It looks like, incredibly, Eric has not 1 but 2 Assault Valkyries at planet number 1. He throws out the LOL right there, and let's see what, if anything, Sam can do in response. So at planet number 3, we've got a copy of Rogue Trader. Sam has got a copy of Vashya Trailblazer opposite it, presumably to serve as a little bit of a deploy stall. He tosses out a copy of Promotion on that Vashya Trailblazer. It was already winning command, but now it's sitting at 4 command icons in total. And kind of the crappy thing about this 4 command icon, albeit mobile unit, is that if Gorzod shows up at this planet, he'll be able to win command. But of course, the Vashya Trailblazer can just relocate itself. Wherever Eldorath himself is going to arrive, he'll end up exhausting an enemy unit. So if Eldorath goes to planet number 1, he could exhaust an Assault Valkyrie. The Iandon Wraithguard could attack an Assault Valkyrie for 4, but because it doesn't have flying, you're going to cut that damage in half, and it is going to be 2 Armorbane, but Armorbane does not circumvent shielding. So, Armorbane does not circumvent flying is what I was trying to say there. So, as we move into the command phase, note that Sam has got 2 resources, therefore that is going to be enough for this copy of Gift of Isha. So if the Iandon Wraithguard ends up being killed, he could return it to play, but it's looking rather difficult indeed for him to win at the first planet. The first planet being Yavharn is going to be rather interesting because really both of our players might just want to end up actually triggering this unit. Sam's got a copy of Wild Rider Squadron in his hand, and Keilback, Eric, has got a copy of Land Raider. So Gorzod does end up arriving at planet number 3 opposite that copy of Vashya Trailblazer. Eldorath arrives at planet number 5, which I didn't even really have an opportunity to take a look at. That is going to be Taurus, the planet which rewards you if you've got a lower unit count than your opponent does. We see the Vashya Trailblazer mobile over to planet number 4. That's going to be a total of 1 card and 3 resources for Eric. Note that he came across his copy of his signature support. And for Sam, that's just going to be 1 card and 1 resource. So at planet number 1, now that we're in the midst of combat, Sam has initiative. His Iandon Wraithguard manages to deal 2 points of damage to the Assault Valkyrie because that damage does get cut in half. And now are we going to see Gift of Isha used now or not? Looks like Yavharn is indeed going to be triggered. Those Assault Valkyries bounce to Eric's HQ. That is going to be 1 planet type icon of each kind added to his victory display. Eric comes across a copy of Land Raider, a 3/7 vehicle, for free, and Sam gets his Wild Rider Squadron, a 3/4, which is movable, which normally costs 4 resources. So let's see here. Gorzod won that battle at Planum entirely uncontested. As a result, he moves the Assault Valkyrie, the Unwounded Assault Valkyrie, to planet number 2, Eloith, which is a blue planet. Note that Sam, having one Taurus, he's got fewer units, so he took this opportunity to draw 3 cards. Bone Singer Choir is not unique. Sam did happen to come across another copy, and now he's going to have to be pretty careful indeed to make sure that his opponent doesn't end up winning as early as planet number, well, currently number 2 here. So we've gone through an HQ phase. That's going to be 2 cards and 4 resources for each of our players. Sam has lost the initiative token. He takes this opportunity to toss a Warlock Destructor out to planet number 2, and then let's see what Eric came across. At planet number 1, we've got a copy of Rickety Warbuggy. It's going to be a 1-cost 3/1. It's got that Goes Fasta specialization, so if Eldorath were to show up at this planet, he'd steal initiative, and then if that were the case, the Rickety Warbuggy would not be able to be dealt damage by units, so long as this Assault Valkyrie is at that same planet. Gorzod is going to have his movement relatively restricted by both of these formidable elites, but I can only imagine that Gorzod is going to be showing up at planet number 2, his victory condition planet. Note that at planet number 5, Aatrox Prime, we've got a copy of the signature army unit Starbane's Council. It's going to be able to win a card and a resource for Sam, and it's got a copy of Sam Han Jet Bike on it. So once we've moved past command, when it's done its economy thing, you can use a combat action to move this unit to, let's say, planet number 1, deal a point of damage to the Assault Valkyrie, because the Jet Bike, you can move it to a planet that shares a type with this planet, to a red or blue planet. Both of our players have already decided where exactly they want to send their warlords. Eldorath is going to be arriving at planet number 2. Gorzod is going to be arriving at planet number 2 as well. Looks like at some point Eric decided to toss a copy of Raven Guard Speeder to planet number 2. It's going to be a modified 3-cost, 3 attack, 3 hit point, 2 command icon flyer, and that is going to result in a total of 1 card and 3 resources for Sam in his vehicle-heavy Eldorath here that he recently managed to win a store championship with, and Eric, rather dissimilarly, won 2 cards and no resources. So Eric has no resources left whatsoever, whereas Sam has 3. In regard to tricks we can expect, Foresight could potentially be a thing, but I don't imagine it will be because we've actually moved past our command phase, but definitely Gift of Isha is going to be conferring some sort of benefit. Note that Bone Singer Choir unfortunately did not confer any sort of benefit to Sam during this round. He did not play a drone or anything else. So planet number 1 is going to be 1 entirely uncontested by Eric. That's going to be a blue technology icon added to his victory display, and that is going to be the Rickety Warbuggy and the Assault Valkyrie bouncing back to his HQ. He does have a copy of Customization Station in play, and now all of his vehicle units count as orcs, and they all get +1 attack and +1 HP. So it's looking like this may end up being a bit of a stomp for Eric, but let's see how Sam holds up. The initiative is in the possession of Gorzod. Gorzod's going to be up against a 3/4, a 3/4, a 1/7, and all he's got under his employ is going to be this 4/4 flyer, modified of course, this 4/8 normal unit, this 5 attack, 3 hit point remaining flyer, and Gorzod himself actually retreats as his first action, which is a little bit surprising to me. But I guess let's see what Eldorath decides to do. So Gorzod retreats. Warlock Destructor takes a swing at the Assault Valkyrie. 3 is going to be cut to 1.5, rounded up to 2. Rock Bombardment, discarded as a shield, means the Assault Valkyrie takes no damage whatsoever, and now it's only going to be Eldorath with an opportunity to attack here. The same Han Jetbike relocates Starbane's Council to planet number 2. It's in the position of planet number 1, but the single point of damage that would have been dealt out to either the Assault Valkyrie or the Raven Guard Speeder, it's going to be blocked off by the discard of a copy of Promotion, which Eric inadvertently put at the bottom of his discard pile. So Starbane's Council attacks for 3, boosted up to 5 because it's attacking an exhausted unit. That 5 is going to be cut to 2.5, rounded up to 3, and it looks like Eric has decided not to shield against that effect. So, just to keep everything in mind here, Customization Station gives all vehicles +1 attack and +1 HP. Eldorath himself is going to be attacking for 1, cut in half, rounded up, back to 1. Copy of Promotion discarded, the second copy Eric has thus far discarded, is going to preserve that unit, and he's got these flyers, and he's got two shield value cards in hand, and that's making it look like he may well actually be able to do something against Sam's forces here, but this game is looking like it might be fast and brutal, or, looking like it may have been fast and brutal and then just turned into a bit of a slog because Gift of Isha recurs this Iron and Wraithguard to play, and now it is going to be able to attack for 2 Armorbane at the Assault Valkyrie, which now has 4 total points of damage, and it is going to be remaining in play courtesy of the Customization Station, but now there's going to be increasingly little that, okay, looks like our players that are both on Skype, we actually see a little bit of a take-see, back-seas. So because Eric didn't reveal any information, it's not that big of a deal to change your target from the Assault Valkyrie to the Raven Guard Speeder that was already wounded, which you can actually already kill. So I guess what we see now is we come to the end of a combat round, and both of these units are going to be readying. Eldorath decides to retreat at the end of said combat round, and now it's going to be up to all of these Eldar units to try to kind of just vanquish the likes of Gorzod's units. So this wounded Assault Valkyrie is going to attack for a modified total of 5, and in regard to shields, Sam only has 1 shield value cards at his disposal. Sam only has 1 resource remaining, so therefore Gift of Isha is no longer going to be an option, and both of these rather practiced players are playing very quickly, and it is infinitely amusing to me. So the Iron and Wraithguard takes a shot of 2 Armorbane on the Assault Valkyrie. It's not quite killed yet. The Land Raider takes a swing of 4 because it now counts as an Orc, and it manages to re-bury that Iron and Wraithguard. Now the Warlock Destructor is going to take an attack of 3, and what exactly does Sam have in the form of shields? He's got a copy of Foresight as well as Nullify. And kind of the crappy thing about his Assault Valkyrie, well, I guess Whiteblade actually does have 2 value shield cards left. So when this Wild Rider Squadron attacks the Assault Valkyrie, it's going to be cut down to only dealing 2 points of damage, and we see that Rock Bombardment discarded erroneously to the bottom of Eric's discard pile. But the point of the matter is the Assault Valkyrie is going to survive. So we come to the end of a combat round again. The Land Raider has 3 points of damage. Thanks to this Warlock Destructor, it's going to be Gorzod's initiative once again, and I guess you could have kept Gorzod at that planet and attacking, but maybe there was no reason to really remove him from there in the first place. We actually see the Warlock Destructor retreat, which is going to be very interesting indeed, and I guess, is Sam just kind of forfeiting this planet? He's only got he uses the Wild Rider Squadron's combat action to move it. I was going to say he's only got 1 value shield cards. The Assault Valkyrie is going to be able to attack for 5, and that would have been a dead Assault Valkyrie. Planum activates because Eric wins that battle, and now best of luck to you, you Eldar playing fool, to be able to win this one. So Eric Keilback, during the winter 2016 season of Sam Mann's Black Crusade, ended up getting 6th place. He was only beaten out by that fellow known as the Hive Tyrant, and it looks like he is indeed one hell of a player, so that was a very close fight indeed. And man, this is just proving to be one hell of a match. So we've moved through an HQ phase. That's going to be 2 cards and 4 resources for each of our players. Note that Eric is running very low on cards indeed, but Eldorath currently has initiative. I can only imagine that Eldorath himself is going to be showing up at this planet, which is going to be of just critical importance that Eric win. Like, if Eric wins this planet, that's going to be the game for him. If Sam fails to defend it, he's going to lose. So Eldorath has to show up. He has to bring the Warlock Destructor. He's going to therefore maintain initiative. In Gorzod's wagons here, that means their Goes Fasta is going to be active. They're going to be a 4/4 unit for the cost of 2, which is absolutely stellar. We've got a Wild Rider Squadron being played at planet number 2 by Sam, and now what else are we going to see for Whiteblade? Whiteblade decides to toss a copy of Rogue Trader to planet planet number 5 in lieu of putting out a copy of Snakebite Thug to planet 1. I can only imagine that his thought process there is to try to win cards to just serve as additional shields, and something sneaky and duplicitous that Sam has done here is he's come across another combo piece of his deck. It is the drone defense system. You stick it on a pilot or a vehicle, you exhaust the attached unit to deal 2 damage to each exhausted enemy unit at this planet. That, of course, works around flying, and if Sam can ensure that a lot of these enemy units are going to be exhausted, that is going to be a whole hell of a lot of damage going out. So the Rickety War Buggy is going to be a 4-2, courtesy of the customization station, and because Sam has the initiative, it cannot be dealt damage by units not named Rickety War Buggy, but Drone Defense System is an attachment, not a unit. For command struggles, looks like that's going to be Eric winning 3 cards and 3 resources, and Sam is going to come across 2 resources. So, mobile, the Vashial Trailblazer shifts to planet number 1, and it's all going to come down to this. Either Sam is going to win at this planet, or Eric is going to capture this planet, and that is going to be the game for him. So, is Sam going to be able to defend, or is Sam going to shit the bed on this one? Eldorath exhausted that copy of Assault Valkyrie. We've got the Vashial Trailblazer taking a swing of 1, potentially killing that Assault Valkyrie. What does Eric have in the form of shields? Holy mother of hell. He's got a copy of Daka, which he's going to discard as shields. 2-value shield card to block 1 point of damage. Kind of sucks, but whatever. Oh man, we are seeing all kinds of signature cards in this match. That's going to be the Blood Runner, which is going to be a 3-value shield card, which means if somehow Sam were able to attack for 6 against a flyer, that would be cut to 3, and then the Blood Runner would basically modify that down to 0. So Whiteblade has got a copy of Outflank 'em. That means that after he takes a combat turn, he can take another combat turn. And let's see, if Sam waits too long to move his Wild Rider squadron, he may actually miss his opportunity. Looks like that is not going to be the case. That's going to be Outflank 'em used. Okay, so here's how it works. Assault Valkyrie swung for 5, that's 5 damage on Eldorath. Outflank 'em was used. Then we see Nullify, cancel that effect. Now, I wonder if that's going to come back and punish Eric. We see a Wild Rider squadron shift position to this planet, and now what exactly are we going to see? The Wild Rider squadron is going to take a swing at that Assault Valkyrie. Eric can shield it, and it looks like he does exactly that. Interesting that Sam has decided to try to pick off that target. Like, it seems like it would make much more sense to save, to wound all these different targets as much as possible, and then try to use Drone Defense System to sweep the planet. Like, why bother killing off that Assault Valkyrie if Drone Defense System could have killed it regardless? But I guess Gorzod's Wagons takes a swing of 4 at the Wild Rider squadron. A discard of a shield card, Foresight, means that that Wild Rider squadron survives, and it looks like that, could only have been a suboptimal play. I guess, interesting here, like the Land Raider, it prevents non-vehicle units you control from being targeted by enemy card abilities, but the Drone Defense System doesn't specify that it targets enemy, it doesn't target, so therefore it's just going to affect anything. But it looks like all of these units are going to be affected. Like, okay, so the Wild Rider squadron shifts over as a combat action, that unit exhausts, and now all of a sudden the Rickety War Buggy is going to be killed. It's going to be 2 damage on Gorzod's Wagons, 2 damage on the Land Raider. It's going to be 2 damage on Gorzod as well. And let's see here. So the Assault Valkyrie is also going to be taking 2 points of damage. The Rickety War Buggy should actually be killed by this effect, unless we end up seeing the Blood Runner used as a shield card, which may be the case. So why don't I just go ahead and, yes, I will say correct from card effect. Attachment specifically. And don't mind my typo there. written in haste. So yes, Rickety Warbuggy is dead. I suppose in hindsight, something that may have been worthwhile is discarding the copy of the Blood Runner just to keep the Rickety Warbuggy in play. Although I guess what's great about Drone Defense System is the attachment itself need not exhaust, only the attached unit. So this Wild Rider Squadron is going to be absolutely spectacular in that it can potentially use its ability multiple times, but the Wild Rider Squadron, after we've come to the end of a combat round and all of these units have readied, it takes a swing at the Land Raider, and there we see that Blood Runner discarded as shield. So the Wild Rider Squadron could have potentially killed off that which Eric had left remaining, but it could not do it because of that signature attachment. So the Gorzod's wagons managed to kill that Vashiaw Trailblazer. Eldorath Starbane deals a point of damage to the Land Raider, and Assault Valkyrie swings for 5 at Eldorath Starbane. He is going to be bloodied. The Land Raider swings for a modified 4 at that Wild Rider Squadron. That is going to be a dead unit, and that is going to be the GG right there. So that was a hell of a game. That was just incredible. But congratulations to Eric Keilback for managing to beat Warmaster Sam Mann in one hell of a fast and furious game. So, my dear viewers, I hope you were able to keep up. I was not so much able to myself, but regardless, I very much hope you enjoyed this video. I definitely did myself. So, well played on the part of a Sam Mann, but another congratulations to Eric Keilback. So that was a hell of a game. Sam is calling out that customization station is ridiculous, and like I said, the number of signature cards that Gorzod saw it was just absurd. But Sam's Eldorath heavy vehicle deck, it definitely gets some work done, and that drone defense system is one hell of a card. So, dear viewers, I hope you enjoyed this video. As always, if you enjoyed this content, be sure to hit that like button and subscribe to my channel if you've not done so already, or if you are already subscribed, as ever, you're encouraged to share this content, because the more engagement these videos receive, the more individuals end up exposed to Conquest. They might give the game a try, enjoy what they experience, someday join our community, and of course, the greater we are in number, the bigger message we send to Fantasy Flight Games, telling them to continue to develop this fantastic product. If at any point you'd like to get in touch with me, I would encourage you to do so, particularly if you're a content creator. So, if you want to reach out, if you want to contact me, please do so on Facebook or on Twitter, or even on email. If you ever feel inclined to give back to the Hive Tyrant, I would be honored, humbled, and deeply appreciative were you to make a contribution to my Patreon page, because each and every dollar just goes to help me to recover some of my file hosting and operating expenses, and each and every additional investment just goes to help improve the audio and video quality of this channel. But as always, thank you so much for watching, and once again, be sure to check back in again soon for much more Conquest LCG content to come.